Hello everyone, in this episode we are going to be working on my buddy Kenny's MR2 Spider again. First thing we're going to be doing is the exhaust manifold. So yeah, we need to pull that in, so I'll cut that thing apart and we'll weld it back together. The next thing we're going to tackle is the axles on this thing. We have the axles from the Camry, we have the axles from my 91 SW20, and we have some axles from the original Spider, and we're trying to figure out how to make those things work together. So we're trying to find one set, basically, you know, if we have to swap ends or do whatever. So we're going to figure that out in this episode. And what else? Oh, we're going to run, I'll tell you now, we're going to end up running the big V6 axles. And I don't know if anybody has done this before. I think it might have been done, but I don't know if it's been documented. But yeah, we're going to document it doing it on this Spider. So yeah, there's going to be a couple other mods that go along with that. Like we got to lengthen some arms and some other things here and there. But yeah, stay tuned and you guys will see all of that. All right, so we got a header from the 1MZ. I need to chop about 1 inch out of it. So I'm just gonna take the bandsaw and run it through there. Gotta take a little bit of die grinder to there, a couple spots, but it's back together. A little shorter than it was before. Yeah, pliers fold apart nicely. Yep. All right, so we're gonna take and we're gonna check this axle end to see if it possibly pops onto Kenny's V6 axles from the Camry. And if it does, we will be lucky as hell. So, slim chances, but first we need to measure. Slim chance, because so far everything else from the Camry has all been bigger than MR2 stuff. So, I wouldn't be surprised if this was not. Oh, interesting. It looks smaller right here, but it necks up into the...
That is interesting.
This one necks up into that.
It might be the same
spline.
size.
It might be. Okay, so I'm going to measure the part with the actual splines.
This is wide.
That's the widest part. It's about 27 millimeters. Moment of truth. $27 millimeters. There's a chance. There's a chance.
Yeah.
There's a chance. If all we have to do is widen some control arms on the back, I say we do it.
Okay.
But first, we gotta get both of these apart.
Yeah, apart. So let's start with my
Okay.
The one that we've been having trouble with.
Okay.
Let's start with that.
Okay. Here's our contraption. Helping to pull this axle apart. It's a pretty straight pull. It's not bad. Let's see what we got here. Let's grab a hammer. And it's not straight either. That one literally just came out. It just fell out. Thanks for the mess.
You didn't have to do it like that.
Can you come off when all the bearings are off?
It's supposed to.
Doesn't want to.
It's supposed to.
Oh, I think you gotta turn it. No?
Are all the bearings out?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Okay, let's see what we got. Snap ring in here.
Where is it?
Where is the snap ring? It's in there. It's back in there. You just can't see it.
Weird.
Well, now we're down to this part. Might as well keep cutting.
Yeah.
We'll just be careful not to hit
Real
the axle.
careful this morning.
God.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah. There it is. That's your culprit. So I guess I lost some footage, or if I didn't even record this or what, but the Camry axle ended up being too big. I mean, we kind of knew that was going to be the case, but we actually got one of my axles apart right here, and there it is. Yep. What we did, because we didn't want to destroy this axle, we didn't think we were going to use the Camry axles, to be honest with you, but we ended up making an adapter. We went to the hardware store and bought the right nut. Of course, this is stuck on here good now. But we made this adapter with 2 nuts, and then it threads into my puller here. And that worked perfectly. We had it clamped in this vise. You know, it was perfectly straight, and it just popped it right off. I don't know if that other one would have came apart, but my buddy ended up getting a new axle, so that's taken care of. Back to the show. All right, we've changed tactics, and now we're trying to get these hubs apart to see if we can make them work. Well, all I got's wood for blocking, so far I'd say it's not working.
Yeah. Currently it is not.
Wood is pre-cracked. Oh, it's going.
See?
Yep.
That's how you do it, David.
Well, thanks for letting me know.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, that's all you got.
I need more
You got
cribbage.
more wood. You need more wood.
Need more wood. I got plenty of wood.
Hey!
Gold. All right, we're back at it. We've got warm soup bellies. So we finally figured out what we're gonna do. We are going to use the MR2's stock spindle. Let's get that out of there. We'll use. So we figured out what we're gonna do. We're gonna use the MR2 stock spindle. This is it right here. But we're going to use the hub from the Camry, because the Camry axle bolts directly or slides directly into this hub. but the Camry axle would not slide into this. So we were trying to figure out if we're going to cut axles in half and make them come together. But finally we figured out there's enough meat on this hub that we're going to have it machined down to accept the factory MR2 bearing, and then that will essentially just bolt right in. And then while it's at the machine shop, we'll have the lug pattern changed from 5 lug back to 4x100, right?
Yep.
That pretty much covers it. So, but now using the Camry axles widens our track width by 3.6 inches.
We're gonna round it up.
So we're gonna round it up to 4, and we're gonna add 2 inches of width to all of our suspension links, basically. So this link and that link on both sides are gonna get extended by 2 inches, and then that will set everything perfect, and the factory Camry axles will bolt right in.
I'll have to reset my camber and do new.
Yeah, but the Camry axles are so thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're beefy, so
It's
we're
gonna
never
be
gonna break.
glorious.
Never gonna break. All right, all of our suspension arms are on. Holy mackerel. That thing is, woo, it's out there.
It's wide.
She wide. Okay, so that's it. Tires are on. It's got some width. Got some width on the front. You know what though? It doesn't stick out that much further than the front.
Yeah,
It's got a little bit.
When the camber's fixed in the front, then it's.
Yeah. Well, the stock specs already said that the front was like an inch wider than the back.
Oh really?
Factory, yeah.
Oh good.
All right, so we finished up with the arms, and I'm just fixing up this alternator bracket. We had to do a little slight modification on it, so I just kind of held it up there where I needed it and tacked it together, and now I'm filling in this gap that is here with a little bit of metal. We'll weld it all back together, grind it smooth, and put it back on the car. All right, so our next part of the MR2 swap we got to tackle is the shifter cables. The actual shifting levers are mounted on the opposite side of the transmission. So now the factory shifter cables won't reach that transmission. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this. These are the shifter cables from the Camry. We're going to make a mount that basically joins the two sets of cables together right in here. And then that will, the MR2 will move these cables, and it'll just be like one big cable, but it'll have a joint in the middle where they connect. So we're hoping that that solves our problem. It should.
All right, why don't you explain what's going on here, David?
Do I know what's going on? Do I? So this is the Toyota Camry shifter setup, and we've bolted it to this plate now. And this is our MR2 setup, and that's basically what we're doing. We're linking them together. We're gonna mount this to this plate, and we'll trim this up, but that's the linkage.
And we have a 10-foot long
Just about,
set of shifter cables.
It's this bracket.
It's this bracket.
Yeah.
It's throwing us off. Because when I went like that, everything is
brought it
fine.
forward. So we might have to actually cut the bracket in half and mount them separately.
Yeah.
And you just go, yeah, you basically just go off of its own throw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's messing them up. It's messing it up. Yep. They don't want to be in this position.
No.
For some reason.
It needs to be in a different position.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So we'll just slice this.
Yep.
This car's never been off-road. Can you tell?
No. I hope to someday.
Okay, this is what I'm envisioning. If these wires would just get out of the way. Basically, it hiding up here somewhere.
Yeah.
Because it has to come, hold it there for a second. Because it has to come perfectly, just like that.
Yep.
Pretty much. So that's why we have our super long cable set up. Because it's got to go all the way around like that. It'll actually be kind of in this way.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be tucked. It's gonna be perfect.
It is absolutely perfect. All right, so here is where we're moving the battery. It used to be in the rear, so we got to figure out a way to actually secure this battery. Oh, and apparently we got to drill some holes in the bottom for water. All right, since we don't have gas for MIG welding, this is done. Box is made. Kenny's gonna weld it when he gets back to that bracket in there. And the battery sits perfectly right there. While Kenny is working on patching the hole in the floor, which it looks really nice, I'm doing something much more important. I am re-gluing the Hawaiian bobble lady to the dash. So, put her in there. That's a lot of glue. Oh yeah. Yeah. She's not going anywhere. But we'll see.
We'll see.
We're gonna test out the strength of the hot glue. I feel like it has good properties for stuff like this because it's flexible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Over the vibration.
I think so. We'll see. It might just come completely detached from the plastic.
Yeah.
All right, so we're doing some hood pins on the MR2. This is the last thing we're gonna do before we pack it up, send it back to Portland. We got the one installed here. Basically, we just drilled a hole here, and we found the corresponding hole in the hood, and then we riveted the little plate that came with it, and it works perfectly. So we'll get this next one done, and we'll show you how it works. We think we got it adjusted right. We'll see. Let's close it and pin in. Yeah. This way. See, you did it opposite.
I did it opposite.
Yep.
Sorry, my bad.
It's all right. There you go.
That's cool.
Hood pins are in.
Yeah!
No more stupid hood latch.
Yep.
That doesn't work.
Beautiful.
All right, we're calling it a day. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Got any words, Kenny?
Later!
All right, well, that's it for this episode on the MR2 Spider. Wow, that was a lot of work to get done. This was an entire weekend, well, more like 3 days, I think, of work. So some of it went smooth, some of it not so much, but excited to get this thing finished. It's going to be back because we got to do the final finish work on it. It's got a race coming up, so you're going to see all that on future episodes of DJ's Hot Rod and Fab. We'll catch you on the next one.